Then check out the latest home video sensation, NBA Superstars 3. It's rim-rattling, hard-driving action guaranteed to rock the house. Check out the incredible action of these NBA superstars, put to the music of these top recording artists. So if you love NBA action and you listen to today's hottest music, then buy this. NBA Superstars 3, available wherever NBA videos are sold.
Smallest man in the NBA. But let me tell you, his game is much bigger than he stands on the floor.
Look at the little guy go. Barrows takes it in, lays it home, and the foul. Oh! Back all the way. How about that? Get out of your seat on that one.
Hidden in the archives of NBA history are the unknown treasures of laughter and awe. Almost from the dawn of time, basketball has dazzled us with the spectacular and amused us with the ridiculous. So join us as we travel to where few have ever gone before and where even fewer have returned. On a journey into the lost library of NBA lore.
Why are you following me? Get away from me.
It's not nice to be spying on people.
But proceed with caution, because with a touch of a button, you'll need to be ready to rewind the funniest and finest plays. Hello, everyone. I'm Ahmad Rashad. Now, over the last few years as host of NBA Inside Stuff, I've enjoyed delivering all the great action of the NBA to basketball fans. I have also been fortunate enough to review the sport's most entertaining bloopers. So what I'd like to do today, or tomorrow if you care to play the tape tomorrow, is share with you what I believe are some of the NBA's finest and funniest moments. Now, in order to present these plays, I've asked several NBA personalities and my show co-host Will Obey to join us, as well as a man so synonymous with the basketball blooper that the mere mention of his name makes many people laugh. Marv Albert. Don't do that. But most importantly, I've solicited the assistance of more than 45 archivists in an effort...
Cut him off.
What's wrong? Can't we just edit around Mitch's laughter?
It's not the laughter. It's supposed to read for archivists, not just for.
What do you mean?
On the teleprompter. The teleprompter's wrong. It's supposed to say for archivists, not 45.
Don't tell him I'm reading off a teleprompter. This is all in my head. I'm a professional here. I don't have to memorize that stuff.
You know what? The executive producer just called and he says 45 sounds better. So never mind. Just go on with what you're doing.
See, now you see what I got to put up with? Anyway, with the help of several archivists, I guess not less than 4, not more than 45, we were able to stumble across the actual origin of the basketball blooper. And its beginning might just surprise you. In the beginning, the basketball blooper was discovered when players were looking to add something a little funny to the game. Not funny weird, funny haha, or funny tee. They tried a few gags with the ball and each other. And the stuff was kind of funny, but everyone was looking for something more spectacular. So they worked on it for a while, and finally, they decided on a little dance routine. Well, the fans said, yeah, we like that. So the players started to work on a more elaborate routine. In fact, they worked on it everywhere they could. But they couldn't figure out a way to keep the ball in the routine. So they kicked a few ideas around, and things were looking up. but the fans wanted more. So the players started using their heads. And this is when things started getting out of hand. So the players went back to the fans and said, okay, how about if the referees do this instead? They're funny. So they worked out a routine with a few gags and some more dancing, and it was kind of amusing. And the fans liked it, but they still wanted more dancing and strongly suggested that the coaches try their hand at it. But the coaches didn't want to just dance, they wanted to conduct. And that's when the players said, hold on, we're going to put a stop to this. At first, the coaches refused to listen and just kept on conducting. So instead of arguing with the coaches, the players said, we got to help each other. So they got together, made a pact, ran it by the fans who agreed that they should put the ball back in the game. And you know what? A funny thing happened. The game ended up right where it started. And that's not funny. Now, as you have seen, the blooper is often basketball's version of a funny thing happened on the way to a great play. But as you're about to see, sometimes there is a very fine line between whether a play is labeled finest or funniest. In the unpredictable world of the NBA, a bounce of the ball can make players juggle along that fine line between highlights and lowlights. At any time, the action and its combination of elements can make a recipe for disaster or the formula for hoop success.
3-on-1, Houston now, Robert Horry with a slam.
Take the dunk, for example. It may seem like a simple equation, but it doesn't always add up that way.
Oh my! It was down, popped out. Those trick nets here at the Spectrum.
The possibilities for success or failure grow when you add a partner to the mix.
Well, they swing to Lohaus. The alley-oop pass goes right into the first row. Here's Mullen.
But in the end, the most important equation reveals that it's just as rewarding when you're lucky as it is when you're just plain good.
Was that a pass? It went in. Very good. An alley-oop pass. That was an alley-oop over the top pass to Harper.
Just don't let anybody know the difference.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He said it's a shot all the way.
So now you may think you know everything there is to know when it comes to either a fine or funny play, right? Wrong. Some plays can find themselves in both the funniest and the finest categories. Here's a few examples. First of all, there's the "oh, only if it counted" category, and then there's the example of the "why you should never give up" play. Let's not forget the "maybe you should stay out of the way" play. Of course, you always have to be ready for the unexpected fine play because you never know who may be involved or what they'll do to make a great play, even though it might seem like a funny play. Basically, the trick to appreciating how a fine play can become a funny play, or vice versa, is to simply just enjoy it.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, now, if you're still a little confused by all this, I have asked one of basketball's finest and funniest broadcasters to join us. But since he couldn't make it, I had to pull some strings at the last moment to get a replacement. And in order to get this guy, I had to go through his agent, his agent's agent, his PR guy, his publisher, his attorney, even his chauffeur. Oddly enough, they're all the same person. Anyway, this man is so talented, so well-versed in television and comfortable around a camera that he agreed to stand behind one and operate it. Here is Marv Albert.
He looks so blurry. Can't we do anything about that? Also,
Marv,
that vest look.
No,
it's not him. It's not him.
No, I think, Marv, could you come around, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll get back.
You know, for the blurriness, really, thank you for coming on. But for the blurriness, glasses would help.
Yeah.
Really. Now, you have seen what we've done up until this point. And because you are such an expert in bloopers, what is your opinion?
Besides that, it's not funny.
Oh, seriously, that is funny.
Well, seriously, technically, I define a blooper as anything unusual.
For example?
Well, you're unusual. You technically are a blooper.
Yeah, I could be a blooper, but I'm not a blooper. So seriously, what do you really think?
Well, I brought some items.
What is this stuff here?
These are tapes, Ahmad.
Yeah, I mean, but there's so many of them.
And it's actually a compilation that my staff has put together. And this is the true definition of a blooper.
Did you have security when you brought those in?
Yeah. There is no mystery shrouding the basketball blooper.
Tonight, wet spot on the floor. 2 players go down.
Although watching a blooper rear its ugly head has become one of sports' most dreaded phenomenons.
Look out! Oh my gosh!
To truly grasp the experience, one must be ready to expect the unexpected.
He blew the stop.
To high-five the hilarious efforts of all and embrace the embarrassing.
Oh boy, don't you love this?
No matter what obstacles may appear to be in the way.
He accelerates, dribbles it through the legs of Elo, out of bounds.
That was a major league slip.
He was sliding as if he were on ice. Rivers will go all the way, and he moves it out of bounds. Woo-wee!
I do hope you're taking notes on this, Ahmad.
Gotta hustle.
Loses balance on the dribble drive, swung and turned about. Slide by.
You are paying attention, Ahmad.
Goodness, you are cleared for landing.
Up the middle, stumbles.
Starks, falls down. He covers, slips, safe. Look at those guys over there. They love it. I mean, this is fun. That's the worst trip down the floor I've ever seen.
Rivers has got his time, and he goes, wanted to jam it, no good. Wilkins, he wanted to jam it, no good.
B.J. Armstrong feeding Pete Myers.
Harold Miner, missed the jam.
And it pays off as he misses a shot and misses again.
Liberty is going to get a free.
He blew it.
Macon. Go, Macon again. On the lob. Oh my.
Step dunk, that's the way it's going tonight.
Evan has answered Bob.
Eating them up. Rolls it home and then rolls over Richmond, who makes a sensational catch. Wingate held up by Dennis Rodman.
He goes high and comes down hard.
Look out. It's a flavalanche.
Right down the middle.
He's sprawling all over the floor. That is a nifty move as he...
He got takeoff. The fans here are going wacky, and so am I.
Oh my goodness.
Flooding.
Right up, cowboy.
Monster bang. Oh, it was a slap.
But you know, no matter how tough the action gets, you still have to love this game.
Let's dance.
Up we go into the wild blue yonder.
Romantic moment. All we needed was a little candlelight. got to hug the fan for saving him.
Barry going out of bounds. Look at this. There's his mom. Oh, his mother gives him a kiss.
Oh, now taking a seat.
It's home. He's going to ask his wife, what were we doing?
Blowing kisses.
Took it and said, "Be my Valentine."
Gonna take the diamond? I guess so.
Oh, baby, that was sweet.
How sweet it is.
And as you can see, when it comes to bloopers, Ahmad, eventually everyone becomes a fan.
Marv, that was great. Now, I knew when I had to go through all those people to find you to get you on the show, I even told the producer, when Marv comes, he's going to lay it out just like you just laid it out. You've not only defined a blooper, but you have also redefined comedy right here on this show. And thanks a lot for coming by. I know you got a lot of things to do today, so...
No problem. I can stay.
You're kidding.
I've cleared the schedule.
Marv, I know your schedule. You got a lot of things to do.
No. In fact, I brought another tape along.
Another tape?
Yes, we like to call it the history of the great play.
Marv, you know, this is coming out of your on-camera time.
No problem. For as long as great players have taken the court and marshaled the determination to push their skills to the limit, remarkable plays have always followed. And their most memorable feats live on in the annals of basketball lore.
I could not believe my eyes that this man had just did this move. And it's still today the greatest move I've ever seen in basketball.
But the game's true innovators challenge each other and history.
Magic Johnson, only he could have done that.
Oh, my goodness. How did he do
They
that?
practice and compete in a private game of Can You Top This?
I've seen everything.
You know when you did something that was great. You know what I'm saying? You can tell, because you can tell the reaction of your teammates, the fans, water boys. It's exciting.
And in rare, inspirational moments, these stars can bridge the generations.
This is reminiscent of the ABA dunking championship and Julius Erving many years ago.
When performed with routine precision, some great plays can become part of a player's very identity.
How many times have we seen that?
And these plays can leave even a deeper impression on those who face them.
Scout, 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 scout. I went home that night, I was in the bed. Scout hook, scout hook. Scared for the scout hook.
Some even seem to echo through time.
He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it. Over the stand zone. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over.
And now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. What a play by Bird.
Still, no play seems to live in the memory longer than those performed in the game's final seconds.
I get a charge when I'm telling on the opponents and team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what it's all about.
Double teaming Bird. Larry, fake, fall away.
Hits it at the buzzer. All right.
You can buy any seat in the place right now because nobody's using it.
Irving to Cheeks, back to Irving, sets himself from behind midcourt. It's on time, he made it! Julius Irving with a three-point shot from behind midcourt has won the game. 1 second, Jackson for the game. Yes! Oh, my! Here comes Magic, he's got it, he throws it on the way down! Oh, my God!
But whether these spectacular performances are delivered at the buzzer or spontaneously in the blink of a fan's eye, they have a special place within our dreams and in our hearts. They are icons for the game's history, and they make basketball even greater by serving as a challenge for the future.
How in the world did Kemp? He had to be 13 feet off the floor.
Injuries caused by too much traction. But how do you prevent it? This won't help. This won't either. Introducing Court Slick 2000 with the proper application. I said the proper application. Spray it on your shoe. There you go.
This is not what Mr. Naismith had in mind. But if it works, why not use it?
Oh, you're right. Court Slick 2000. Use only as directed. Unfortunately, Marv did finally have to go, but joining me now is my colleague on Inside Stuff, Willow Bay. And boy, am I glad Marv's gone. He was a lot of fun, but he stayed a little long.
Well, I'm here now to help you out.
Good, much better. And I understand that you came by to help on this project to make sure that we show all the stuff?
Yeah, we need to make sure that all the bloopers get in.
We got all the bloopers, I think. We're doing a pretty good job.
You are doing a phenomenal job, but I just wanted to make sure that all the bloopers were in the tape.
Meaning what, exactly?
Hate to break this to you, but your bloopers, my bloopers, our bloopers, Inside Stuff bloopers, you know, all the bloopers.
I have bloopers?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm working here.
I hear ya.
I'm working here.
I hear ya. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you concerned about time passing? I mean, do you hear the talk clicking? Clock ticking? You hear me, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
How badly do you want to win a championship?
There it is.
Or is it getting into the playoffs every year enough to satisfy you? Do you hear the tick clock ticking?
Before you get to that, watch this, then sink your teeth into this edition of Rewind. What's that?
2, 1. The winner and the sender, the looter to the shooter, interceptor from the simmer, the Lewis on the tuner, and Larry Johnson. I live and die for hip hop, so shoot the rock for today. I give props to hip hop plus the NBA. Oh!
And Mike Dunleavy doesn't mind the,
Oh! Yeah! I gotta get ready!
Wait, I gotta get off.
Oh! I gotta get ready! Do the limbo! Oh, give me lower! Give me lower! I gotta have lower! I gotta have a lower! There you go, now I get underneath it. Oh! I remember reading somewhere you said that your dad told you you'd never get something for nothing. For nothing. My lips is frozen, man. But I saw somewhere where you said that you never get something for nothing. I can't hardly say it.
You know, he once told me that you never get something for nothing. You know, you gotta work for everything you get, and that's how he...
How come you can say that? I couldn't say it. I'm not gonna be goofy.
Spit it out.
Soaking wet, he's soaking wet, I'm telling you, he's soaking wet.
Cleveland's Lenny Wilkens may have had the most memorable quote. Talking about his coaching career, Lenny said, "I've always had a love-hate relationship with my players. I love them, they hate me."
Wojciechowski?
Wojciechowski.
Okay, let's go. One of the players' name is Steve Wojciechowski.
Wojciechowski, very good.
Wojciechowski, and he'll be playing for Mike Wojciechowski.
Krzyzewski.
Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Wojciechowski.
Steve.
Steve Wojciechowski and Mike Krzyzewski. That's what I meant.
They name their teams after animals like bulls.
Bill's an animal. We're gonna take a 20 and we'll be right back. You know, you may have forgotten just a couple, huh?
Well, you know, I have more.
You do, but it was good anyway. When the guy missed the dunk and everything, that was good. That's funny. That was a real blooper.
And you know what? I have some from other announcers.
Maybe any of Marv's?
Yeah.
I think we should show Marv's.
Well, I have some of yours too.
Let's just show Marv's.
The key to a strong broadcast is always remaining in control. You need to retain your dignity and, of course, your professionalism.
Oh, what a beautiful.
Hello.
One other note. Charles Smith.
Just
Just a touch of rosin here for a little bit for breakfast. Noontime brunch.
Here are the two guards he's had to match up against. It begins with Steve Smith. By the way, it's good to see that Rick Mahorn has been activated.
We got news for
in the last 3 games.
Aye.
Mark.
Just take a look.
Give me a hard shot.
Really? I'm going to just take another shot.
Sure.
How about an elbow?
Slap me around.
Michael Jordan tries to get this stuff on over. All right, here we go. All right, we got him. We got him. We finally got him.
But in the end, everyone is willing to shake and make up.
Okay, Dominique, again, congratulations, our Budweiser Player of the Game for a new all-time Hawks.
Because after all, it's all in good fun.
Do you believe like I believe? It was fun, partner.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
He has such great hands that you can get the ball anywhere near him.
Now try new and improved Hand Slick 2000. Never have the problem of slippery hands again. In fact, it's the only product you'll ever need for those annoying grip problems.
Thanks for helping out, Urban.
It's, well, handy for any occasion.
In the air to our own Chris Webber.
Hand Slick 2000, use only as directed. As we've seen, some of the funniest moments take place behind the scenes. And for a few more examples, we've journeyed around the league to capture the players and the coaches when they, well, let's just say, when they haven't expected us. They are the world's greatest athletes, possessing awesome strength,
Shaquille O'Neal has come down with a thunderous jam.
breathtaking speed, and almost effortless grace.
Smooth. That is poetry in motion.
They are a wonder to behold on the court.
Come on, follow me. Follow me.
Away from the glare of the NBA spotlight, these magnificent athletes display a different talent, the gift of laughter. Or at least a chuckle for anyone who's watching them. Now, that's not to say that occasionally there aren't exceptions, but to appreciate them, you'll need to hear the inside scoop.
Another thing you have to know about rookie golfers in the NBA, you know, they got to learn all the ropes and all the tricks, but what they do the night before a tournament is they go to their local putt-putt courses and they steal golf clubs.
The course outside the NBA can be a rough one.
Boys high paid caddy.
We don't have to play no more.
And keep your eye right back behind it. You got to swing hard at it.
And if no one feels at home on the range, there's still plenty of activities to keep us amused.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Some acts are rehearsed enough to go on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the official spokesman of the group Shy,
S-H-Y.
S-H-Y, here's Shy, folks.
The very first time that I saw you around nice, your lips said hello, and I said hi. I know right there. Y'all know the word. I love you.
Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning now. Come and surf with me. Yow!
A bucket, bust, a bucket.
And as any great athlete will tell you, practice is the only way to improve your performance.
GTs. Let's start up.
through the wind and the sleet and snow and rain. Good news that you shall be driving down the lane.
We gotta start that over.
We got it. We got it.
Okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yep. Do it again.
Oh, no. You got to say action first, don't you?
Yeah, he's saying his line back there. Okay, action.
I knew we should have taken that right turn at Albuquerque.
Cut. That's for bloopers.
Of course, players socialize off the court, but taking care of your daily chores as a team might be pushing it a bit.
The Boston Celtics shopping drill. Here they come through hardware. Cowan's to Havlicek with the over-the-counter brand name Law Pass. To the sporting goods. A pass to Nelson. Another pass to Nelson. One more. 2 passes to Nelson. And a big pass from Nelson. To Havlicek and Cowan's for the menswear high-fashion fast break.
And although some things never seem to change, at least players spend more time today picking out their wardrobes.
If the car could be right there.
You like my hat?
Especially the accessories. When the stress of relaxing off the court becomes too much, it's best to return to basketball.
Very important for our team to stay calm on the inside.
Boom.
Worst tape job in the league. Unfortunately, he's ours.
Why is it that doctors always push on the place that's hurting? It's one of those things you need to think about. Right up there, if all babies are pretty, why are there so many ugly people in the world?
Thanks for that,
And when it's time to take the court once again, it's all business. Although sometimes funny business sneaks in, since that's how we got to make this tape anyway. Because of his unrelenting efforts, we believe Tim Hardaway has earned the right to review for us the finest plays from the player's perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let me introduce to you at this time, that's the way they introduced James Brown, but this is Tim Hardaway.
Hardaway the killer crossover, he gets, pushes it down. Hardaway going all the way.
Yo, what's up? I'm Tim Hardaway from the Golden State Warriors.
Here's Tim Hardaway behind the back. Oh, he spins and scores.
Let's show some highlights, and let's start off with some dunks.
Has been ejected, coast to coast. Ryder goes up. Picked back up by Portland down towards Strickler. Oh, over. Bill Cartwright with a thunder slam.
Hey, son, come on, baby. Don't let me down.
Mark Jackson gets the give and go.
Oh! Woo! Turns. Look out behind the back. And the snap of the foul. What a play by Webb.
Those dunks were nice, but I'm partial to the little man. So let's check out the little people dunk on the big people.
Oh, in your face, Kevin Johnson. All the way. How about that? Trying to stay with him. Starks goes baseline.
Those are some pretty sweet moves, but defense wins championships. Everybody knows that.
Break the defense. Push him. Come the Knicks again. Ewing rejected by Ryder. Nobody got back on defense. Robert Horry blocks the shot. Blocks it again. That time. Oh, Robinson blocking Johnson and got it back again. Oh, are you kidding me?
As a point guard, I pay attention to all great passes.
Drexler, great play. He's got the backhand. Vacuum with the ball. You gotta love it. It's right. Oh, what a pass. Oh, that's the pass of the year. That's the best pass I've seen this year.
Check out these crazy shots.
Now Ryder. Oh, yeah. What a look. Hardaway in the flip off the glass by Mullen. Jordan past Petrovic.
You know I like buzzer beaters.
Hardaway fires.
Check out the buzzer beaters.
3, 2, 1. 1 second. Did he get it in time? Yes! Yes! Count the basket. Myers triggers the inbound. Kukoc for the win. It goes! Oh, brother! Here's Horning. The shot.
The great play is never more needed than in the pressure-filled moments of playoff time. But as part of the funniest and finest, we've decided to look at that pressure from the lighter side. For those who passionately practice the game, there is ultimately only one quest, and that is to be the best. It is an arduous journey.
Could you cut this with a knife? The tension in here now.
But the pressure that comes with it only makes its achievement a greater reward. And after examining the NBA's greatest games, we found one simple secret to success. It's not how many times you fall down that counts. It's how many times you pick yourself up, or something like that.
Don't steal the tap. Don't make me look bad.
We're playing like a bunch of wimps.
Very typical of Michael Jordan's mid-air acrobatic act.
It must be the shoes. And Chuck Daly gets a technical foul and then falls down. That's a highlight move right there.
You're lucky you're in the league. Listen, here's what we want. Listen, get in here.
The ball's still loose, knocked around, picked up by Mason, lost it, ball on the floor. Jet picks it up, can't get it. Herrera gets it, he knocks it out of bounds.
He's on a breakaway, grabs it, and drops it out of bounds. They're colder than a delicatessen turkey. How about this guy? Does he love the pressure? He makes all the big shots. That's a good one for a tape.
No jersey. Holla back to the bench, and did he ever hear it from his team?
Oh, man, the drama. The tension is so great here.
Liar, liar, house on fire.
Against Michael, loose ball. Here he comes. They missed that duck. That's
40 Jack. Chuck.
No, Jack. Let me talk to Jack first.
Here's Clayton. Magic lost it. And Kupchak hustle.
Pick that ball up.
That loose ball. Johnson handles the loose ball and comes up to Andrew Toney. Anyone's ball. Look at this.
Why don't you play the game and stop crying, you big baby?
You stop talking.
And now you can feel the drama and the pressure of these final minutes.
You're getting a fair shake. Just stay in here. You never know.
You got a badass dude. You're gonna grow up like Bill Lambier. You're gonna be a Bill Lambier. You're gonna be a Bill Lambier.
Don't give me that crap.
Right back, Grant could not hold on.
Just tighten up a little bit, not. All right? Not too hard. Loosen up. Let you guys tighten up enough.
This is what it's all about. One possession. One possession now.
Of course, when it counts, the finest do come through.
You can put that on the highlight film, folks.
What a pass. That was insane. He's got to take charge of this ball game like this. Down the middle he comes. And underneath he goes. Just like that. He's got to do it. Yeah. Sets the pace. Shoot it! Shoot it!
Hayes finds an open bird. Takes Rambis. 1 second. It's good.
He's in a frenzy here. And a Jordan fires it in. Oh, no! I don't believe it. What in the world is going on?
And because of their clutch performances, the finest will be remembered for their grace on the court and not for their performances off it.
Where I'm headed tonight, I ain't going to Disney World. I'm going to SeaWorld.
Once those three things came into play, we started good team.
It feels like heaven. Like the Ohio player said, heaven must be like this. Heaven must be like this.
Well, would you like to step up here and guarantee a third straight to start this off, Coach?
Now, as we've seen...
Ahmad, we've run long on time. We're going to have to cut the last package.
You're kidding. We have one more great play package to introduce. Can't we, reshoot something and make it shorter?
Sure, Marv's in the lobby. You want me to go get him?
No.
All right, you know what? Go to the credit package and let's get out of here.
You know what? I have just the play to start this thing off. Now, I hope you enjoyed our show. The best is coming up next.
Ahmad, just say goodbye, please.
Just say goodbye, please. So, for Marv and Willow, so long, everybody. Thanks for rewinding the finest and the funniest with us.
What a lucky shot.
You may never see that happen again.
Oh, look at that move. 360 spin on the reverse.
Jordan, a 50-footer to Michael Jordan.
Nice pass to Lottie Shore.
Look at that pass to Brown. Oh, my.
Beautiful.
Here's Anderson.
Oh, triple with the plate goal. Here's Fleur. Fires. It's a three-point.
Good rebound. And the foul. In your face, Kevin Johnson. Oh, my. By Gatling. Kemp buries it and draws the foul.
Got it, and it counts for three.
And
In the air. Oh, my gosh! Oh, my goodness! He's tied it!
Yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky to the basket.
Ago. Hi, I'm Don Bleu, and you just dropped into the No Zone, where you're going to find out more than you ever wanted to know about air cargo. Let's start off with size. I mean, that's important. How big can you make an airplane, and how much could we put in there? I think it's time that you met Fat Albert. When the cargo gets really big, you get one of these, the Mammoth C-5B, operated by the United States Air Force since 1969. Lockheed's Galaxy, affectionately dubbed Fat Albert, has a tail that stands 6 stories high, rides on 28 wheels, has a cargo compartment about the size of an 8-lane bowling alley. I'm inside a C-5. This is the largest cargo plane in America. Check this out. Now, there's Tech Sergeant Dave Stutchell down there. This plane actually is 2/3 the length of a football field. It's huge.
The floor is 19 feet wide. That's 13 feet to where the frame of the upper floor starts.
Sergeant Stutchell has spent most of his Air Force career loading and unloading Galaxies, with everything from humanitarian relief supplies to Patriot missile launchers to the Pope Mobile. They proudly claim they can carry anything that'll fit through the door. You could put 10 Greyhound buses in here. 6 Greyhound buses. You could put, how many helicopters do you put in here?
Depending on the size, the Black Hawk, which most people are familiar with, we can get about 7 in here.
So you must have them kind of sitting like this.
Yeah, you bring 2 in by the nose and then stick the tail, the other one in between. A little jigsaw puzzle.
And now you learned all this. I mean, you're the load master. You know how all these fit in, and it's not like a U-Haul.
No, yeah.
What is it like to ride back here? I mean,
noisy.
Yeah. With over 160,000 pounds of thrust, a fully loaded Galaxy tips the scales at 750,000 pounds. Its 6.5 railroad tank cars of fuel will take it halfway around the globe. Captain Mike Wolf and his crew are likely to get the first call when trouble breaks out.
We often call ourselves the CNN Express. Whenever you see a news story on the TV, you can expect a phone call shortly thereafter.
3 stories up on the flight deck, it's surprisingly much like any other airplane.
I've only been here 3 months. I haven't seen too much.
24-year-old Second Lieutenant Jean Toomey, only 3 months in the co-driver's seat, is a testament to the docile handling of the Big Bertha. It's easy to forget there's more than 200 feet of fuselage back there. Sort of like being a bug on the hood ornament of a Lincoln.
Surprisingly, it's a lot different than a Cessna would be, but it flies the same as any other airliner control-wise. It's actually pretty nimble.
Yet, for all its aluminum girth, the C-5 is a lightweight compared to a couple of Russian Sumos. Unchallenged as the world's largest aircraft for 14 years, the C-5 was displaced as the heavyweight champ by the Antonov AN-124 in 1982. Dubbed Condor by NATO, it bears an uncanny resemblance to the C-5, with its main distinguishing feature being a fuselage-mounted tail. It's not as fast and has a much shorter range, but it can carry another 100,000 pounds of payload. The absolutely undisputed big dog on the block is the 6-engined AN-225. They call it Mayat, Russian for dream. Designed to carry cargo not only inside, but on the roof, like this Russian space shuttle. The 225 could lift an entire C-5 if you could get it inside. Fully loaded, we're talking 1,300,000 pounds. Woof, he's big dog.
The Boeing 747 actually could carry more tonnage than the C-5A, but that's the Fat Albert. This is more like a Thin Lizzy, as you can see. Better off as a passenger plane. All right, now for some really way out aircraft, let me punch up my Sun Microsystem Spark 10, running the Show Me 2.0 mouse, and boom.
Hi, Don.
Soledad.
How you doing?
Soledad O'Brien, the cyber guide for information highway casualties like myself. It's great to see you. Glad you're there.
What can I do for you? How can I help you?
Well, we've seen all these large aircraft, C-5A, the Antonov AN-225, and I'm just wondering, there's probably some other rather large, strange flying fish out there we haven't seen yet, am I right?
Well, Don, as a matter of fact, there are, but we'd have to go back to Russia to see them. This is the revolutionary Russian Akif. It's almost all fuselage, and its cabin is as big as a theater. It could hold 2,000 people. The saucer shape makes the body aerodynamic, so it acts like part of the wing. And it's so large, it would probably have to land and take off from water, delivering cargo nearly anywhere in the world. As you can see, they're still working out the handling characteristics. It's still a bit dicey. One strange fish that's been around since 1962 is the guppy. It's a heavily modified Boeing Stratocruiser that can carry jumbo jet fuselages inside its 25-foot diameter gullet. These turboprop guppies are hinged in front and in the back. There are 4 of them, all developed for NASA to transport entire rocket sections to Cape Canaveral. The swollen fuselage has been stretched 30 feet, and 15 feet's been added to the wing. Since the Space Shuttle program, all the guppies are now kept in France, where they transport A300 Airbus components for assembly in Toulouse. Don, what do you think is the most expensive food, pound for pound, that the airlines ship around the world?
Lobster.
No.
Special sauce.
No.
Lettuce, chickens, peas,
No.
onions,
No.
sesame seed buns.
No, it's
lemon
truffles.
herbs and spices. What?
Truffles.
Truffles.
That's right. At $30 an ounce, this little fungus is the most expensive food that money can fly.
They are beautiful summer truffles from France, and I'm glad they're here.
Has delays.
When you always see the films on TV, you see a little ice chest being transported back and forth, and there's someone's life actually being carried by someone else.
What airport do you think handles the most cargo of all? Would it be O'Hare or DFW or LAX or SFO? No, it's long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee, home of Federal Express, the largest air cargo handler by far. And you know that air cargo actually began with airmail. The post office inaugurated airmail in May 1918. Airmail proliferated in the 20s as World War I veteran pilots and surplus aircraft fed a dangerous occupation with supplies and manpower. Crashes were not uncommon, in fact, standard operating procedure. Flying by instruments was pioneered so that planes could take off and land at night or fly through the clouds. In 1920, you could mail a letter at 5 a.m. in San Francisco on Monday morning, and it'd be in New York at 4:30 Tuesday afternoon. So you see, we haven't really come that far in 70 years. United Air Express, the first exclusively air cargo company, began in 1929. It was expensive and folded shortly after the stock market crash. It wasn't until after World War II that air cargo got off the ground again. Companies like Flying Tigers, Emery, UPS basically supplemented scheduled airline service for airmail delivery. It wasn't until 1973 that air cargo suddenly got glamorous.
Aren't you glad there's one company that can keep up with it all?
You got a deal, good. I'm putting you down to deal with Dick. Dick, what's the deal with the deal? Are we dealing? We're dealing. Dave, it's a deal with Don, Dork, and Dick. Dork, it's a deal with Dave, Dick, and Dave. Don, it's a Dork.
Federal Express now operates 458 aircraft. That's more than everybody except for American and Delta and United.
You know, Don, in the rarefied air of exotic cargo, they also ship things like your bluefin tuna, which is shipped on ice halfway around the world. But even more precious are live cargoes.
Like, racehorses.
That's right. How about whales?
Whales.
Have you ever thought about what it takes to transport a whale, a few rhino from Africa, or how about a herd of giraffes? No problem. This Boeing 747 can handle it all. It's the largest commercial air cargo freighter in the world. With a 3-man crew, it carries 100 tons of cargo a day. Now let's say you've got a specialty item. After all, exotic cargo doesn't necessarily have to be big. For the refined palate, there's always the mysterious, the very expensive black truffle. Does it ever seem strange to you that people are paying $300 a pound for a fungus?
Well, yeah, it does.
Yes, aromatic tubers have been considered a delicacy for centuries. These were dug out of the ground Saturday, sold in a French marketplace Monday, shipped to the U.S. Tuesday, and cleared for customs on Wednesday. Tonight, their dinner at Chez Panisse in Berkeley. So these are the first truffles of the season, is that right?
They are. I mean, they are beautiful summer truffle from France, and I'm glad they're here because we've been waiting for them all morning.
For Chef Jean-Pierre Moulet, this is a serious business. Customers come to him for exotic tastes from around the world.
We still need that olive oil from Italy. We still need the coffee from Mexico.
And of course, my quail and truffle salad. Delicious. This cargo is definitely worth the trip. Last year, 14 billion ton miles of cargo were shipped worldwide. The good news is the rates are going down. You can fly your favorite goods for as little as $1.50 a pound, and you don't pay extra for the nose. Of course, it depends on the item. In the near future, the 747-400 series will fly 20 more tons. This will help sales agent Eric Johnson. He once sent cherries and horses to Tokyo on the same plane.
We do take great care to transport the horses and make sure that the horse byproducts are not spilled all over the floor of the plane.
I guess you can never be too careful, even in the friendly skies. Au revoir. By the way, Don, that white off-center circle of paint on the engine spinner is supposed to resemble a rotating eyeball.
An eye?
That's right. It keeps the birds from flying into the intake.
Oh, I get it. So, Dad, I have a nephew, Jay, who had a kidney transplant, and I know that's something that has to happen within just a couple of hours. Now, how do they handle that?
Well, Don, there's a fast response network of corporate jets that fly between hospitals coast to coast in under 6 hours. Without them, the organ donor program couldn't work.
The fear of not getting an organ in time.
Without a a new liver, Deli DeHoop will die. Every day in America, she and 35,000 others are waiting for a new heart or liver or lung to save their lives.
When you're a lifeguard flight, you're a priority, so there are no delays.
Today, we're on a Learjet 25 en route from San Francisco to Stockton. We're traveling with a transplant recovery team from the University of California, led by Dr. Henry Randall. His group makes flights like this 150 times a year to secure donor organs.
I go out and also prepare the patient for the donor operation and help remove the organs, package the organs.
Every minute is crucial. For example, a human liver can last only about 15 hours, even when packed and preserved. To save time, coordination between the transplant institution and the donor hospital must be precise.
So now, how much time do we have to get to the hospital?
The hospital is usually within about 15 to 20 minutes from here, and we don't have to run and rush any longer. The sirens don't go. Then we'll go into the operating room from there.
The need for organs greatly outweighs the supply. Every 20 minutes, a new person is added to the waiting list.
I was waiting in the hospital in San Francisco, and without organs being able to be transported, my life would have been over.
Even though this type of air cargo is small, it's still very precious. Last year alone, 16,000 people were saved by coordinators, pilots, and surgeons.
When you always see the films on TV, you see a little ice chest being transported back and forth, and there's someone's life actually being carried by someone else.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could just beam yourself across the country? Fred Allen Wolf says, hey, it's going to happen any day.
Pacific, all New Year's Eve. On the
mail, because it took about a month for a package to get anywhere. Now overnight delivery is as common as a push-button phone. Craig Miller, our man with an expressed opinion, went out to take a look at what happens when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight.
Well, Don, we've wrapped up shooting this piece now, and actually we're here in San Francisco, but we're way across town from you. We don't want to take any chances. We know it's a deadline situation, so we're going to send this by overnight express. Well, the guy's here right now. Your timing is perfect. You know, I was just going to drop this in the box here, but you're here, and it's only going across town, so maybe you can just take it on over there and walk it right in.
Well, no, actually, I can't. It's,
you can't?
No.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, it's got to go back to our station where I track it, and it's going to get on the plane back to our bulk center, come back tomorrow.
A plane? No, it's only going... It's going to San Francisco, just on the other side of town here. You can drive there from here. You can almost walk there from here.
Right, I understand that, but it still has to go through our tracking system so that it'll get billed properly, and it's going to go back to our bulk center, come back here in the morning, we'll retrack it then, and I'll make the delivery in the morning.
That sounds efficient.
Yeah, it is.
Nope, they have to put it on a van, and they drive it down to another part of town where there's a sorting station, and they take it out, and they sort it, and they scan it, and then they put it on a truck, and they drive it all the way across the Bay Bridge to Oakland. They get to the airport, they take it off the truck, they put it on a plane. Excuse me, I didn't get my peanuts yet, and I'm wondering when the in-flight movie starts. So starting way over here in Oakland on this side of the country, they're going to take our package and fly it all the way to this side of the country, to Wilmington, Ohio, where Airborne has its hub. This sorting center way across the country from where it was sent and where it's going is, ironically, the key to the whole system. They say they process 500 to 700,000 packages in 3 hours here every night, and because they all come through here and because they're all treated the same way, that is what makes the process efficient. And then, you guessed it, it goes on another plane and gets flown all the way back across the country to Oakland again, another 5-hour flight. Then they unload the plane at Oakland, then they put it on a truck, then they drive it back across the Bay Bridge to San Francisco again, back to the sorting station where the whole thing started. Well, here it is. This is our package. It's been to Oakland, it's been to Wilmington, Ohio, back to Oakland. Now it's here in San Francisco where they'll scan it through the system for about the 3rd time in the process. The technology they use on these things, the Hubble telescope couldn't turn around and find its own planet for the first few months it was in space. But you're always going to know where this package is. Ken, are we lost in the no zone yet?
No, not at all.
Got put on the van.
You bet. Out for delivery at 8:55 this morning.
So it's almost there.
It's almost there.
I don't know, Don. It may be the only case where the shortest distance between 2 points is a trip around the country.
Yeah. Oh, Craig, wait. It's the no zone doorbell. Wait a minute. Let me see who this could be. Hey, there you are.
You Don Bleu?
Yes, I am.
Hi, this is for you.
Well, then this is for you. There you go.
Gee, you're too generous.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot. It's great. Hey, Fred Allen Wolf, how are you?
Don, is that you? I must be back in the no zone again.
This is great. You look like you just beamed in from the Starship Enterprise.
Actually not. The last thing I remember, I was in a Tibetan monastery meditating.
You must have been thinking about us. We've been talking about air cargo and the history of air cargo and what's happening in air cargo today. And I said, if Fred Allen Wolf was here, he would know the future of air cargo.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about that. Why is it that we send such big, massive objects from one place to another place? Man, what do we really want?
We really want this big, massive object over there so they can have this big, massive object.
Well, actually, no. You know what we really want? What we really want is information. We want to have somehow whatever that big, massive object is telling us to be in our living room. Isn't that really what we want? I mean, for example, remember this?
Sure.
I used to call my grandmother on the telephone. She was 1,000 miles away. I couldn't be there, and she, you know, would say, "Hello, Grandma." And she would say, "Oh, Fred, you're on the line again. Why aren't you here?"
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
I would
never
say, "Well,
right. You're finally calling Fred."
That's right. I would say, "Well, Grandma, the reason I'm not here is because my voice is with you. I'm doing something else." So I could send my voice, but meanwhile, I was still here. Well, you know, technology has really improved since this old telephone.
Sure.
Right now, what we have is something called video phone.
I know
And
these.
I could pick up the video phone, and I could dial you, and what happens is whammo, on the line with Don Bleu.
You look very good.
You know, Don,
I think this takes 10 pounds off of you. You look great on here, Fred.
Yes.
But obviously, then what we're doing is we're sort of breaking down this information and making an electronic delivery of some sort and then remaking it again. I see a picture of you over here.
What is it that makes me so distinct from this television image? Just amounts of information. That's a two-dimensional amount of information. I may be a three-dimensional amount of information. What if we could send me, actually me? What would it take to do that? Well, what am I made of? I'm just information. I'm just atoms and molecules in certain arrangements. And if we could find some way to get that arrangement to you, I would actually be in your living room. And I think we're going to do that.
No kidding.
Yes,
Beaming is on its way?
I think it's definitely on its way. And pretty soon, Don, you'll have Fred Wolf in every living room in the United States.
Can't wait for this. This is going to be great. Well, Fred, now, if we've been sort of, I mean, I don't want to get real close to you because as I'm looking at this beaming thing coming by, I'm wondering if you're going to be heading back shortly. So I'm just going to maybe back out of your way a little bit here because I see a trip. I see a trip in your future.
Uh-oh, well, I guess I got to go back to the...
Very good. Nice to see you, though.
Nice to see you, Don.
Bye-bye.
Fun.
Okay.
Bye.
You gotta run. Whoa, that is amazing. Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Thanks to Cyber Guide Solo Dad O'Brien, Craig Miller, and of course, Fred Allen Wolf. I'm going to leave by a more conventional method, the door. I'm Don Bleu. See you next time in the No Zone.
Coming up next, a security robot has cameras for eyes on Beyond 2000. Then track the development of a killer whale's fetus on Next Step. Explore your world on the Discovery Channel.